This week's Leaguers and Catches focuses on growth. Specifically, what do you do when you've maxed out your current customers? Your competitors' customers are loyal, really hard to get them away from them, but you must win growth. Our example, Butternut Box, a brand with plenty of money to expand and seemingly plenty of market share to go after, looking relatively small versus competitors. But that's not the end of the story. When we start looking at loyalty in the pet food sector, it is like no other. Pet food buyers stick with what they know. This is Butternut Box's customers split into 10 deciles, and actually 70% of their customers pretty much only buy with them. And the picture's the same across the board. When we look at Jolly's, their rival, pretty much the same. If they think they're going to go after the biggest brand in the business, Pets at Home, not going to happen really. 80% of their customers are loyal. And then we dig into the other huge area of the market, local pet stores. And again, buyers are loyal. So what are they going to do? Last year, when we dug into Butternut Box, we looked at their share of wallet. That's their proportion of the spend that their customers make in sector. And they're winning a pretty strong £74 out of every 100 their customers were spending. Over the last year, they've done even better and increased their share of wallet to £83 out of every 100 their customers are spending. So growing share of wallet isn't where they're going to get growth. So the answer for Butternut Box and any brand in this situation is really to look at where new customers previously spent and how much they paid, and look at the profile of those customers. That's worth an awful lot more than a LinkedIn blog, so I'm not going to show you theirs. But here's an example from last year where we looked at gift gaff customers and where they previously spent. We can dig into each of the little groups here and actually look at their profile and understand how much they spent before and what attracted them to the brand. We can then overlay that by breaking out the profile of those customers using things like mosaic code to understand specifically which groups are more likely to fit the profile of customers who fit with your brand. And how are you going to know what to put in front of them? Well, we track how much they were paying, and we can see how much people are paying in their local area because we track daily transactions from 2.2 million people all the time. And we can also focus in on where you're particularly weak or strong in an area of the country to prioritise where's a great place to go first. How do you get in front of them? Well, plainly, if we see everyone's bank, credit card and debit transactions, we know where else they're spending. So we can index where your customers are also spending when they're not spending with you. So you can build the right affinity partnerships to get in front of the right customers, those which are most likely to move to you.